Hello and welcome to this session on behalf of Google. It is the GNI, the Google News Initiative Digital Growth Programme. I'm Louise, very excited to be with you here today to take you through this next 45 minutes as your guide for this Google training. Now, the objective of this training is to take sort of an in-depth look at the methods that newspapers are using to successfully become online publishers. Now, each session, because there are many sessions that we are doing, cover a different element that any sort of news business can take notice of. Things to be done before launch, also to shaping your value proposition, pricing, acquisition, churn rate. Got lots going on. And each session is going to be broken down into 3 key topics. So we'll be looking at that today, and I'll go through what those 3 topics are in just a moment. Now, you will see in the Q&A section just below this video, you can pop in any questions you've got. Come say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Please introduce yourself. Now, taking care of that Q&A section, our chat box, is Elisabetta. She is my colleague. Elisabetta is going to be here to take care of you. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask them. And also, we will have time at the end of the session to go through any other questions that you might have. So I will be taking you through this training. It'll last about 35 minutes. And then, as I said, we'll have sort of 10 minutes for questions. So we are looking at establishing your advertising strategy today. So this is part of a wider session from the GNI Digital Growth Programme, and we are looking at advertising revenue. You can see that it's in the 4th section along there, the pink section. It is the very first session of this topic. We've got lots of other ones: data management, reader revenue, audience development, business strategy. So make sure you keep an eye out for them if you spot anything that takes an interest to you. Now, we do really want you to get the most out of this training. But what we're here to do is we're here to show you the variety of options that are available to you, because there are a lot. However, it is really important for us to note that these are only options. The world of digital publishing online, it is really complex, and we know that. And we know that your business, and honestly, every business, has different challenges, different audiences, and a varying amount of resources available to them. So we will show you some case studies, actions, further resources. But all of these are just suggestions. What actions you take next, your next steps, entirely up to you. And it will be based on your different needs, experiences, and aims. So advertising absolutely can support your revenue strategy. And why this matters: now, your website, it really is the center of your online publishing business. As digital publishers, your site functions as the most powerful platform for delivering your content to visitors. So this means that you can earn revenue from every impression on your website. So advertisers and the news, they've got a long-standing relationship, and it is still the case that ads are the only revenue source for many digital publishers. So we do really need to think about them. So today then, I said we are going to break it down to 3 sections, and these are the 3 sections. So we're going to start off by looking at your ad strategy. We'll then look at the changing world of ads available to you, and sort of a focus on the all-important ad experience. So you can see there, we've got the ad strategy. We're going to be delving into the types of ads and our ad experience. So hopefully we can get a lot out of this session. But first, let's talk about a quick guide to ad setup. So when it comes to placing adverts on your website, there are a number of available options. However, we really today are going to focus on the Google options only. Now, there are, as I said, lots of other options. They can include things like media.net, buy-sell ads, Critico as well, Propeller ads, Ad Cash, Rhythm One. That's just to name a few. But today's session is very much going to be focused on Google and what they have to offer. So making sure that we're all on the same page then before we delve into the depths of this training session. Now, we do have to make a few assumptions on this training today. And those assumptions are that you know how ads work, and that there are a number of different ad networks available to you. If not, then actually Elisabetta is going to share a link with you in the chat, which can just explain that in a little bit more detail, so you can really get to know the ins and outs of how ads work and the different ones that are available to you and what would be best. Also, we are under the assumption as well that you have a website or an asset that are currently displaying ads. So if not, we're going to share another link. Elisabetta will do that in the chat as well. And this is an introduction to AdSense. So this would be a great place to start if you don't have that. And also your key metrics. We're making the assumption here that you know your CPCs from your CPMs and just all the basics around this. Again, if not, we can share a link which can help you explore ad metrics in more detail. Elisabetta will do that in the chat for you. Okay, so let's look at then the difference between AdSense and Ad Manager for publishers. Now, the choice between the two, because people do sometimes query about which one is best, the choice between the two really will boil down to a simple question. And that question is, do you intend to serve ads only from AdSense? And if every ad served onto the site is going to be supplied by AdSense, then there really is little advantage in using Ad Manager. So Google Ad Manager offers many compelling advantages, but publishers continuing to have only AdSense demand competing for their space, you're really not likely to get enough benefit from using Ad Manager to warrant a switch. So the truth is AdSense is very, very good at running AdSense ads. Now, where Ad Manager comes into its own is in being able to manage multiple demand chains, which help publishers to get the most value from each impression. So Ad Manager can serve that demand from other partners via things like exchange bidding, and it serves that third-party tags. Ad Manager enables other networks and exchanges to compete based on price. So that really is the difference. So if you're only planning on using AdSense, then really Ad Manager doesn't have that benefit. But if you want to go that little bit further and get people bidding, then Ad Manager really is something that maybe you want to be considering. So let's kick off then with ad strategy. Now we're all on the same page, just a little bit of background in those assumptions that we are making. Let's talk about ad strategy and how that can be beneficial. So advertising revenue has been declining for publishers over the years, but it really is still expected to be a sizable portion of overall revenue. Now, half of the 230 media executives surveyed by Reuters at the end of 2019, they stated that reader revenue would be their main income stream moving forward. So this means that the other half still foresee driving some or all of their future revenue from advertising. So it really still is something that is at the forefront of that revenue. So just a few questions to consider then for your ad strategy. First off, it's a starting point. How will ads perform for you? And how have they performed for you so far? And how easy is it to run? You know, these are great little questions that you can ask yourselves just so we can start putting your ad strategy down and making sure that it is working as effectively for you as possible. And next up, it's about your audience. Another thing to consider is, well, is your audience happy seeing ads, both now and in the future? And does your content now and in the future lend itself to premium ads? Now, competition as well is next up. How are your competitors using ads? Always worthwhile having a little look around, doing a little bit of survey, market research to find out what your competitors are doing and what is working well for them. Now, are they moving to new models as well? Is there things out there that you haven't realized? And if they're working, is it something that you might want to consider? Optimization. Are you constantly evolving your returns from ads? Ad types as well. Are you using them in the right way with the latest formats? We'll talk more about that later because there are lots of different formats that you can be using that are really beneficial. Some might be more challenging for your site. Your ad experience. Do you understand that there is such a good thing as a good and bad ad experience? If so, which one are you providing? We've got to make sure that it's a good ad experience for your readers. And ad data. Do you know what future advertisers will be looking for when it comes to buying advertising space? So by answering these questions, you're really going to get into the heart of that ad strategy and make sure that you are moving in the right direction in a way that's going to benefit you in the future. So let's delve into these in a bit more detail. So first off, are you earning what you could be? That is the really big question here. It is important to know what you could and should be earning from ads. So these figures are taken from the AdSense homepage on what you could earn or could expect to earn from ads based on the average CPMs across the industry. So you can see just a couple of examples there. I should point out as well, there's no guarantee or commitment that you're going to be earning these. This is just an estimate based on content creation and categories and research. So you can see there from a monthly page view of sort of 50,000, potential annual revenue of just over 2,000. Also there we've got page views of 10 million. It could go up to 424,800. I can get that figure out. So monthly page views are the number of times that your website pages are loaded and viewed by human visitors per month. So that's what we're saying when monthly page views, it's how many times someone has actually gone on to your site and loaded a page. So there really is a potential to earn a lot from ads. So what is your longer term ad strategy? So for example, do you see yourself always running ads and that's how you intend to make most of your revenue? Or do you see a future that doesn't involve ads at all? Perhaps the removal of ads being what the reader wants and they want to move to potentially, I don't know, a subscription-based model, for example, or maybe a mixture of both where you'll have ads and then they can pay to take ads away or have things behind a paywall. Always worth considering having a real deep delve into these. And then you've got to look at your resources. Do you have the resources to sell ads directly or will you be looking for an automated solution? So just a bit of a case study for you then. This is Vice Media. I'm sure lots of you have heard of Vice Media, the huge publication. Now, the core of its business really offers it's content focused, really. Vice, however, also manages ad monetization for the Vice Digital Network, which contains over 500 networks or websites. And it's got a combined reach of 200 million monthly unique visitors. So it manages a mixed ad strategy and it uses both ad manager and exchange bidding to maximize revenue across the group. So the results on that then, it had a 17% increase in ad manager revenue and a 41% higher CPMs for exchange bidding compared to a non-exchange bidding inventory. So worth considering actually, if you've got multiple publications, what is going to work best for those desired readers, for your target readers. So that's just an example of actually how using both of those, a bit of a hybrid mix there for Vice really, really worked. Now, I know that's a lot of information, and if you are brand new to ads, it might be a little bit overwhelming. So if you do need any help, that really is what the GNI Digital Growth Program is here for. And all of these things I've mentioned previously at the start of the session, we've got lots and lots of different sessions available to you. And we will share a link to that either now or at the end of the chat about how you can find these sessions and sign up to new ones. So those questions that I asked you earlier about the things you need to consider, the starting point, the audience, we do have different sessions that will be really beneficial if you do want to delve into them in a little bit more detail. So for the starting point, so how your ads performed for you so far and how easy has it been to run, then you might want to go and check out data management, the news, consumer insights and real-time content insights session. For the audience, is your audience happy seeing ads now and in the future? Then business strategy, growing your readership is a great place to explore that in more depth. For competition, you want to head to revenue strategy, and that's subscriptions and contributions, because we do delve into that in a lot more detail and how that can help benefit you and your publication. Ad optimization, that is ad strategy, optimizing ad revenue, which actually we are looking at later on today. We will have a session straight after this one where we do delve into optimizing ad revenue. And finally then, well, actually two more here. We've got ad data. If you want to delve into that, then it's ad strategies, data and ads. That's the one for you. And that will help looking at the future of advertising and how that's going to be looking when buying advertising space. And finally then, ad types, that's going to be coming up later in this session, as is the ad experience. So we are covering a few of them today, but really sort of highlighting those other sessions that would be beneficial to you. So make a little note of them if you want. Great. Hopefully we managed to get that one down. If any of them stuck out to you as something that you want to be looking at. Let's look at ad types then, and the types, the various sort of types of ads that are available to you. So where can you serve ads? That's always a great place to start. Actually, if we are thinking, okay, I really want to use ads, that's going to be a great revenue for me and my publication. Where are you going to put them? So first off, we've got lots of options about where you can put these. And first is your website. We mentioned how important this is, and it really is the center of your online publishing business. And as a digital publisher, your site functions as the most powerful platform for delivering your content to visitors. And this means you can earn revenue from every single impression on your website. We've then got videos. Video is huge at the moment, video content, short form content, and actually we can monetize these as well. And it's on all platforms, and it does have the seamless sort of pre-roll, mid-roll, post-roll ad format. So whether it's in the middle, at the end, or at the start of that video. And you can earn revenue on your non-video content as well with engaging, built-in, out-stream video ads, which we'll go into in a bit more detail. Apps as well. Apps are great for monetization. You can earn more advertising revenue from your mobile apps by tapping into Google demand. So if you do want to explore that further and how you can monetize your app, then head to Google demand. You can find that and delve into more detail there. Email and newsletters. Now, I should mention here, absolutely, we can monetize through that using ads, but you cannot do that through AdSense, because we do need a bit of JavaScript that goes along with it to make sure that it does apply into your emails and newsletters. So that will be an additional thing you need to look at, but certainly worth looking at if you do have emails and newsletters with a wide reach. And then we've got social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of them out there. So definitely worth considering social media if you're not already. It is a huge platform with a huge reach. Potentially monetization within that can be significant. And finally, then we've got audio, podcasts, advertising. It's quite similar to videos, advertising at the beginning, middle, and end of podcasts. Certainly over the last 3 or 4 years has seen a huge increase in monetization. So lots of different options available to you. You might be doing some, you might be doing all of them. It might be the very start going, actually, just checking out which ones I think will work best. So what different ones can we choose from? So the first type of ad we're going to look at is display banners and text. And probably one of the first thoughts when thinking about advertising on websites really is those banners and text links, because they're the ones that you see first. And the Google Display Network actually reaches 90% of internet users worldwide, and that's across millions of websites, news pages, blogs. So there are lots and lots of different sort of availability for ads, from text links to display ads. And in this training, we're really just going to focus on 3 types of them for today, but you absolutely can explore further in AdSense, also having a little more of a explore into the Google Display Network. So just a case study then on some of these ads and how they can work. So WikiHow, some of you might have heard of this, is an online wiki-style community, and it really does consist of an extensive database of how-to guides. So really, if you need to know how to do something, that's the place that you need to go. I most certainly do that. And it was founded in 2005. It earns 90% of its revenue from ads, and the company doesn't employ any ad managers. So that's an example of actually how it can work even without ad managers. Next up, we've got native ads. Now, native ads match the look and the feel of your site or app and provide a better user experience for visitors. Now, these are different from standard ads in that they're designed to fit neatly inside users' path as they work their way through your site. Visitors, they still know their ads, but they really look good next to your content. They're not sort of taking over, they're not distracting, but you can still see them clearly. They're customizable and use high quality ad elements such as high resolution images. Now, native ads have many benefits for ad manager users. So Programmatic native ads on Ad Manager provide a unique balance of scale and flexibility within a wide range of tools that enable you to create more engaging native ads. So users cited in feed sort of native ads as 18% less distracting. So from research that we did, 18% less distracting than in-feed banners. And users tell us as well that designed native ads makes the site feel more cohesive. So absolutely, this is coming from users. They said that 18% less distracting using native ads, as well as them being less distracting, they are more cohesive as well. So they don't distract away from your content, which is of course what we want. It also gives a higher click-through rate. Native ads can lead to higher click-through rates, more user engagement. So that's definitely a plus. Publishers saw click-through rates increase by 1.5 times and cost per click increased by 22% in recent data that compares ad exchange native and ad banner performances in the same ad slot. So definitely worth thinking about. Also, what's great is there's a higher CPM, as we just mentioned. You can allow native ad units to compete against the Google Display Network in ad exchange. So this increases competition, which is great because actually people are going to be competing for that ad space and the ad size. So in these auctions, native ads will compete against the Google Display Network based on CPM. And this ensures that native wins only when it has a higher CPM, which is great because it means that it's a win-win for you. And it does increase competition for your existing inventory. So essentially, you're just opening up an extra demand source. And then we've got new inventory opportunities as well using native ads. So it really can create new opportunities for buyer competition, which can result in a positive revenue lift, which is what we are all after. You also can find new ways to incorporate ads into the page. So for example, if you have feeds or grids or content where banners might provide a distraction, you can use native ads to fill those ad slots without hurting the user experience. So lots and lots of benefits on native ads, and just a few examples there of how it can work. So how can we then implement a strategy around native ads? Well, your native ad implementation will depend upon your overall strategy and how that native strategy is going to be. There are 3 routes you can take: new native inventory, native only inventory, or that hybrid inventory as well. So new native inventory is where publishers leaves its banner inventory intact and adds new native only inventory where it might have decided against placing an ad in the past. So native only then is where a publisher who has decided against banners is transitioning into native as its only advertising format, and a hybrid, as you might well guess, is a bit of a mix of both, and is where a publisher uses hybrid, so a mixed native and banner feature, to increase yield of existing banner slots by adding native demand to the auction. So absolutely, there is lots of benefits from using native ads, and actually how you can use that as a hybrid to increase that ad strategy. A couple of things for you to bear in mind as well, actually, just before we leave talking about native ads. Really consider the placement. Choosing the right placement, it can really make a big difference to your strategy. Where is best to place and implement native on your site or app? We don't want it to be distracting or take away from your content. Also, styles. Really creating a good look, high-performing native ad is a specialized skill. And we really would like to invite publishers to use our templates within Google Ads and to start as a starting point to involve their design and engineering teams in the process, because we can absolutely help you optimize that style, optimize the placement to make sure that it is the best for your readers, so it doesn't distract from anything. A little bit of a case study for you then. This is Meow. It's established in 2015. Media Entertainment Arts Worldwide, I mean, what a great name, has quickly grown into a global content giant. Now, its desktop and mobile websites are available in 9 different languages and collectively receive over 300 million visits per month. Now, the company's goal is to deliver fun, entertaining content. And in early 2017, Meow wanted to monetize its fast-growing audience by showing ads on its website, but it didn't have a direct sales team to help make this a reality. So the publisher looked at partnering and sort of to help develop that strategy to maintain a high quality user experience. And they did choose to work with Google Ad Manager And as a result, after doing this, they did have a 200% higher CPM compared to the standard banner ads and a 50% higher CPM compared to other ad units. So that's just one example, actually, of what a massive increase using Google Ad Manager had with Meow. So what are the in-article and in-feed videos? So in-article videos, they really are a video ad that's between paragraphs on editorial content, and it exists as a standalone branded message. You may have seen these, you may be using them. And then we've got in-feed videos, and that's a video ad in content, social, or product feeds. So they are both outstream formats, and they're supported for fixed display ad slots on websites and apps. And in-article and in-feed videos, so the opportunity here, it really is about higher CPMs. So video ads often have higher CPMs than display ads. They are more competitive. So video really is at the forefront of everyone's mind at the minute. And using video, it really creates that demand and competes with existing display slots. So people potentially would be investing more in that. And it gets more access to programmatic demand than native video. So video really is a great source when it comes to using ads. So if you've never considered it before or monetizing it, then really worth considering. So next up then, we've got multi-sized ads. So multi-size ads allow units of different sizes to compete in a single ad slot. The ad size with the highest CPM wins the auction and displays. So why use this? Well, it ensures that buyers pay more for large sizes. It optimizes yield where there are valid bids of different sizes, but it doesn't guarantee revenue uplift. The aesthetic benefits as multi-size adapts to the ad size, and it is available in ad managers. Unified pricing rules. So absolutely, multi-size is a great option for you because it gets people to bid, and also then it does then adapt to make sure it still fits with the aesthetics of your page. So worth having a little explore if you like. So to explain this in a little bit more detail, let's just walk through a quick example. So you can set different floor prices on inventory sizes that are considered more valuable than others. So for instance, a large banner ad, let's say 970 by 250, might be considered more valuable than a smaller ad space of 120 times 20. So say you have 3 inventory sizes for an ad request: 970 by 250, 728 by 90, and 728 by 120. So you'd like to charge buyers more for the largest size, of course. Now, whilst also offering a different option on the lower floor price for the smallest size. So creating a pricing rule for these sizes, it basically unifies that pricing rule in Ad Manager. And using that unified pricing rule, you can set different floor prices in the same rule. As you can see there, we've set a floor price of $3, the largest, £1.50 for the middle, and 10 cents there for all other sizes. So with this setup, buyers can submit bids for all of these different sizes, and the highest bid across all sizes above the floor price will win. Now, I know that sounds quite complicated, so take a moment to just take that in. But really, to sum it up very simply, you can charge different prices for those different sizes. People can bid against it, yet it will still all be above that floor price. And the biggest or the highest bid wins. So again, getting you more revenue. So let's look at the ad experience then. Now, an ad experience is the combination of your site's layout and behavior and the content and ads to which your users are exposed. Now, an ad experience can be a direct result of the creative elements on your page, or it can stem from the way ads are implemented on your site. And research shows that ad experiences that are highly annoying or distracting definitely discourage visitors from returning. I will, certainly for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people here today, if you go on a website, a publication, and suddenly you get all these adverts popping up, very quickly might click off that. So that distracting ad experience, if it's going to disrupt your flow of getting to the content, might be worth reconsidering. Case study here, portable Bambini, sometimes less is more. Really what they did, they're one of the leading creative art websites in Italy with over 2 million readers. And they use tools from the Google News Initiative to reduce the number of ads and improve the user experience. So even though actually they took 20% less ads, they experienced a 10-fold programmatic ad revenue increase and a 2-fold ad click-through rate. So that was just by streamlining it and making it more user-friendly on their site, even though the ads were less. So just 3 tips here for building a better ad experience. So first off, be immediate. People are more likely to engage with ads that load fast, don't slow down content. And by applying the AMP framework, you can sort of access a more efficient way to build, serve, and measure responsive ads. So just an example, with ads that loaded 6 times faster, Times Inc. saw a 13 greater viewability and an increase in eCPMs and click-through rates. So that's just by making sure that your ads load efficiently. That's 13% greater visibility straight away. Next up, be immersive. Ad experiences that seamlessly blend with a user's content experience are less likely to annoy them. So native advertising offers the opportunity to deliver ads that fit the form and function on your site's content. Responsive native ads can even scale across devices and screens. So making it seamless, just there, not disrupting that user experience, absolutely can increase that revenue and click-through rates and be relevant. Programmatic technology allows advertisers and publishers to deliver more relevant ads based on consumers' interests, helping them stay more engaged with the site. So just a bit more on being relevant then. When you are choosing ads to display on your site, your goal as a publisher is to fine-tune relevance without compromising demand or performance. So as an example, having a fashion site that shows ads from top finance companies or bathroom cleaning products, they may not be the right fit for your audience. Not saying there isn't a crossover, but as a rule. So if you explore your AdSense or Ad Exchange dashboard, you'll see a tab that says allow and block ads. And that way you can choose the ads that you want to show on your site. There's a long list for you to choose on there and making sure that they are relevant to your reader. Now, the Coalition for Better Ads has developed a set of better ad standards to identify ad experiences that fall beneath a threshold of consumer acceptability, which is great because it actually means that the ads that you are seeing and you get to choose from are going to be very high quality and exactly what people want. So these ads, the ones that fall below the threshold are the ones that are most likely to drive consumers to install ad blockers. Now, there are more than 100,000 consumers that participated in up till now in a coalition's research in developing its set of better ad standards for desktop and mobile web. So always making sure that we do follow these recommendations by the better ad standards to make sure that we don't fall below that, because we don't want people to be installing those ad blockers. We want to make it seamless for them. Now, on desktops, users really like to maintain control over their experience. So any obstacle to controlling the flow of information at their own pace is unacceptable. Now, these desktop ads are more likely to give experiences that research shows may annoy your visitor. And these increase the likelihood that they'll install an ad blocker. And they're things like large sticky ads, pop-up ads, full screen inline, Pristilia ads, and takeover ads as well. So really considering whether they are the best option for you. Mobile ad experience as well that might annoy your visitors is exactly the same thing. Mobile browsing is even more about speed and convenience. People are doing it on their commute. They want to be able to get to it quickly when they're on public transport. And any experience that gets in the way or makes it harder, very likely to irritate mobile users. So again, very similar ones here. We've got the pop-up ads, static inline ads, just to name a few. We can see them all on the screen there. Sticky ads on the bottom and the top as well. So remember, these are across all sites and topics. So understanding your audience and calculating your yield from your ad types really is key. It's the key consideration for publication. So make sure that we do delve into that. Now, users can have a great experience with outstream video ads. The ads appear within the content of a site and do not block site content, which is great. Now, sound for these ads is automatically disabled unless requested by the user. So when the video is out of view of the page, the ad will be paused and resume when back in view. Now, a good strategy here can be to enable in-feed and in-article video for central ad experiences with a high view and viewability rates to yield revenue uplift. So even within your videos, it's worth considering what might be irritating to your reader. Playing by the rules, of course, we still need to do this. Ad experience, it really isn't just about providing a good experience to your reader. It's really about adhering to relevant T's and C's. We do have to do it. We've already discussed the better ad standards, worth exploring that. They've been developed to identify the ad experiences that fall beneath the threshold of consumer acceptability, most likely to drive consumers to install that ad blocker. So publishers who break these standards, they do receive an email from Google, and the better ad standards, they were adopted by Google Chrome in 2018, and the browser will take action against websites that violate them. They will let you know, they will send you that email, but it's definitely worth checking it out beforehand because you don't want to be falling below that threshold. So on the last topic here before we open it up to questions, but are you giving a good ad experience? Definitely a question that you need to ask yourself. The ad experience report is designed to identify ad experiences that violate the better ad standards. So make sure you check the desktop and mobile links to see if your site violates the better ad standards. If it does, if it has been identified, you can request a review as well of your site after you've fixed these issues. So definitely, if you have any concerns about the fact that you are not meeting these standards, go and check it out. That's the ad experience report. Go and have a look, check the better ad standards and ask for a review. It can be very beneficial. A little bit of a case study for you. Now, the USA Today network, with more than, it's got 110 million unique monthly visitors. It's one of the country's top 20 digital companies, and it's got 109 local publications in the US. Now, its goal was to develop an insight-driven approach to advertising, improve ad revenue, and deliver an user-friendly experience on all devices. So what they did was build a digital information platform to analyze creative elements and ad performances. Also, they wanted to create a new set of high-performing, user-focused ad units and use Google Ad Manager's native solutions to test and optimize creative elements for boosting engagement. And by doing that, the results saw a 12% lift in click-through rates, a 39% increase in video completion rates, and a 52% longer time in the user view than standard ad units. So that is just one example of how actually using AdSense, using Google Ad Manager's native solution really did increase their revenue and click-through rates. So just summing up then what we have looked at today, I know it is a lot of information. We did delve into ad strategy, and we looked at the present and future of your publication. Then the different types of ads that we can use, the native ads for your organization's advertising mix. And then finally, the ad experience. So understanding the importance of that ad experience and how it can benefit or hinder if it is distracting. So let us have a little look at some questions then. So we have one question come through. Hello. When it comes to video, how can I make sure there are no flashing lights or other triggers that appear? So you can do that. There's a couple of ways. So normally these come with warnings, and as a result of this, it will pop up when you're going through AdSense and when you're picking what ads are relevant to your publication and your audience and your readers. Within that, there will be ways that you can either highlight the triggers, see what's going on, and make sure that actually any relevant warnings are there, or completely click off them if you want. So what we can do is Elizabeth can share a link with you to an email address where if you've got any further questions on that, they absolutely Google can help you out with this and help you make sure that we don't have any of those flashing lights or other triggers that appear. But you can explore that within Google Ad Manager when you're picking which ads you want anyway. So hopefully that answers that question. But if it doesn't, please click on that email address, type it in, and they can delve into it a bit more specifically for your publication itself. If you want to talk to us a little bit more about it, we do actually, at the end of the next session that we're doing, so from 11:30 today, we're doing a roundtable session. Again, Elizabeth will share the link with you. And all that is it means that we can just delve a little bit more into the specifics. So if anybody has any further questions or they want to delve into anything in a little bit more detail, we can go through that with you and learn from everyone else who is there. So it will be very much a open format where we can learn from each other. So that'll be happening at 11:30 today. So please feel free to come and join that as well. But your first port of call, should we say, is definitely heading to the Google Ad Manager and having a little look at filtering out those ads that you do and don't want to see, and then drop them an email if you can't come through or you haven't managed to filter them out properly. Are there any other questions at all? Okay, so just while people are typing in any last questions, just to remind you that there are lots of other sessions available through the GNI Digital Growth Program. We are sitting in advertising revenue at the moment. That was establishing your advertising strategy. Like I said, I know there is a lot of information on there. And maybe go, oh my goodness, I didn't get all that in. Don't worry, you can watch these sessions back. Elizabeth will be able to share that with you, the link to how you can watch these sessions back. Also, you can watch back business strategy, audience development, data management. We haven't quite got to read a revenue yet, but we will be doing that over the next few days. So once that has done, either come and join the session live, or please save that link and you can come and watch it at your own time, really. So up next then, we are going to look at optimizing ad revenue. So we've looked at establishing, we're then going to look at how we can optimize that. And that session today will be starting at 10:30. So please feel free, stay on this link, join us for that session. We would love to have you there. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for your questions. I really hope I helped answer that. But like I said, if not, then you could drop them an email. Elizabeth will share that email address with you. And you can also come to the deep dive sessions, our roundtable sessions. And this really is that opportunity for you to ask further questions and get some answers. So it will be from other publications. We can see what they're doing. It really is a safe space to share, grow, develop, learn from our peers. So Elizabeth will share that link with you, but that is happening at 11:30 today. It would be delightful to have you there. And last but not least, your feedback. Your feedback would be fantastic. A link is going into that chat. Sorry, I'm throwing loads of links at you. Make sure you save them. But your feedback really is important to us. It can help us evolve and improve our support to you. But if there are no further questions, that is it from me today. Well, for now. Like I said, I will be back at 10:30 with optimizing your ad revenue. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got a lot out of the session, and I will see you all very soon.